Hey, what is going on? Welcome to The Mix with Rob Wilkins, and producing the show today, like normal, is Throwback. How you
What's
doing?
up, bud? How you doing, boss?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Uh, other than coming home with a sliced elbow from work and nicks and bruises like any other work job, I'm doing okay, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
same.
how life goes. Stress and everything on top of that. It's interesting to see how everything progresses in a shop like mine where we're in the midst of changing stuff and you're like, what the hell? Why not I take apart something and see if that works? And yeah, it was just really one of those stressful days where everything just went wrong and did go wrong, basically. But how are you feeling? I know you were underneath the weather for a little bit.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting since Wednesday. I was kind of feeling like weird, and I was hoping it wasn't COVID, and it wasn't. I don't know if I had like seasonal flu or something, but I was pretty much out, and I tried to do things, and I was just worthless. And luckily it was after like Dynamite, so I was able to cover that with no issue. It was just like immediately after, I'd say 5 minutes after Dynamite ended, I got up and I was just like, oh, I feel like garbage. So, but
Well, I was gonna say this before we start. Community news wise, Tim and Joel are moving to Tuesday night soon. That's gonna be interesting because of the Fightful watch along for Impact. So, what do you think about Impact moving over to Thursday nights?
I like it. I think it's good. I think it was smart, like move. They weren't getting like their ratings were already low, and then if you add WWE to that, that's taking another percentage. This was a move that they had to make, and it's one of those things where it's good. It's good for Impact. I mean, I know they wish they wouldn't have had to move, but the biggest thing is as long as they get that fan base and maybe add more, that would be great. Um, I think the first maybe week or two, it'll kind of might take a little bit of hit, but they'll uh, they'll uh, they'll be fine. I think I really do, and I really hope they pick up more better ratings, so like more viewers, because that's what we want for the wrestling business. The more people watching, the better it is for the wrestlers, and yeah, it's just overall good for business.
Yeah, considering the test run is going to be interesting because we have Mania, Takeover. That whole week's going to be like non-stop wrestling that entire week. You've got the go home show Monday Night Raw. You know, you got nothing on Tuesday. You still have Impact on Tuesdays, and you have Dark obviously to cover. Um, then NXT and AEW. Then you have night 2 of Takeover. Friday's a go home show, and then Mania for 2 nights. It's just going to be an insane week that you and me are going to be bouncing off the walls like crazy for a while.
Yeah, that week's going to be long. But I'm looking forward to it. Like that long week's always, it's kind of fun in a way. There's always something going on every night. So,
Yeah.
and like the other companies will bring it because they want the eyes. So I'm looking forward to it. But let's go ahead and get started for the show. I'm going to start with sports this week. Last 2 weeks, I think I started with entertainment, but we're going to do sports because I don't have that much on it. We'll start with football. The NFL has announced, or they're working on going to a 17-game schedule instead of the 16-game. As far as like a fan, I love it. As far as like if I was a football player, granted they're going to make more money, but it's one of those things where it's another game, and they will make more money because it will be prorated like into their contract now. But it's one of those things where I can see where some players are like, man, this isn't good. Like, because you use NFL game, you're lucky if if you're not sore the next day after an NFL game. You know what I mean? So I get where some of them are coming from, but as a fan, I like it. As a player, I'm not a player, but as a player, I could understand why they wouldn't like it. What do you think of that extra game if they add it?
As a fan, I think it's killer. 17 games in a football season. Heck yeah. The problem with that is that people that are doing stuff like FanDuel and stuff like that, yeah, they get an extra game, and all these sites are going to make more money off of it. But what's not to say, somebody gets hurt? That means a shorter preseason, means not enough opportunities for some players that are trying to make a roster. It's a double-edged sword, and hopefully it works out. But, at the end of the day, just like wrestling, just like anything in life, it's ultimately the safety of the players that matters the most.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and share a really quick another NFL story. The Eagles yesterday. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagles guy by any means, but they gave over 1,000 COVID-19 shots or vaccinations to the autism community in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania yesterday. So shout out to them. I will always root for a team, or I will always root for them doing something like that. That's really awesome. And even if I despised them, like I don't despise them enough where I'd want, like something like this not to happen. I think this is awesome. I think they should be, they should be extremely happy. Like their fans should be extremely happy that they have ownership that would do that. I don't know what the cost is of a COVID shot, like from a standpoint of a business, like paying for them, but the fact that they paid for 1,000, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's really all I had for football this week. I am anxious for the draft. Each day is closer to the draft, so we got that going for us.
Yeah, and look at how insane free agency is. Look at how many players have been signed. I mean, I have to look at the depth chart for the Patriots just to get an idea what it looks like afterwards. I mean, they picked up 2 tight ends. They're still in the running for Garoppolo to be traded. And the more interesting part about it is that, and with this draft coming up, San Francisco just traded up to get the 3rd pick overall in this draft. Just remember that. And that's an interesting thing.
Yep. Yeah. So it's pretty, I love the NFL draft, and I'm hoping to be able to do some like mini mock drafts or something. Like, I mean, you don't have to do all 32 picks, but maybe do like half the round or something for the first. I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that's something that we're probably going to end up doing, is doing a watch along like we did. Like I was going to when I did it last year. That's something that everybody should stay tuned, because that's something that would be fun to have a bunch of us crammed in on and watch the draft and just make guesses on it. That would be fun.
Yeah, it's been like, they had the NBA trade deadline this week, and there weren't like nothing that like for this show to really go over. There's nothing. I mean, you just look at the at like the moves that helped some teams, but it wasn't nothing that
this trade deadline for the NBA was nothing like, oh my god, like as me looking as somebody who watches the NBA sporadically, it was nothing like, the Garnett, Allen trade before the draft, the year the Celtics picked them up, or something like major where it's just like you're shaking your head and you're like, oh my god, this is a game changer. No, it was just, certain subtle moves, bench players, some people that were like parts of a crew that not part of it. It wasn't really newsworthy. It was just a lot of people didn't realize that trade deadline happened. It was underneath the radar for the most part.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't really that big of a week. Like, I mean, trade deadlines are usually fun, but this week it seemed like nothing major happened. And I think everything happened before. Like, you got James Harden going to the Nets and stuff like that earlier in the season. So, so basketball, I don't really have anything on that. As far as like baseball goes, this week is opening week. We got opening day, and we'll be doing that pretty soon. I'm anxious for that because I'll be doing some watch-alongs for that. And
do you smell that, Rob? The smell of optimism in the beginning of a season for people literally thinking like years ago, like the Red Sox and the Cubbies, that it's their time again, like the beginning of that. That's the best part of opening day. For me, though, it becomes more serious for me when Patriots Day happens and they have the game at Fenway, and it gets more into it at that point. But opening day is going to be interesting, especially with not a lot of crowds. The other thing is, the big thing is around here is that at the Garden, they actually had about under 2,200 fans in stands for the first time ever in a year. And that was interesting, though. And it was all sporadic. They were all spaced out like 6 seats apart kind of thing. And it was just an interesting thing. Visual wise, it was just interesting.
It's that's one thing that I definitely agree with you with. So I'm anxious. I love baseball, so it's going to be good stuff. As far as like other sports go, hockey was kind of uneventful this week. So I think we're just going to move it on to
there was one thing it happened that I think it was Marchand got hit with COVID. He's in the COVID protocol. And that's interesting considering now with the vaccines and stuff, you think some of these players would have been vaccinated by now.
Yeah. So I just got like one of my systems that I use has completely frozen, which means it's going to affect like this here in about a minute. So you're going to have to cover the show for a minute or two.
I'm good. I got that, man.
Okay, thanks. So I'll be back. I'm so sorry, everybody. This is, I guess, what happened when you don't turn on your computer for a few days and update some things. So I'll be back in just a minute. So we're doing really good. Cool. Peace. I'll be back. Mother.
All right, guys. I guess I'm holding it down till he gets back anyways. Just the list itself, we'll talk about that real quick, considering the fact that way it is, WWE released as the beginning of the week top 50 women's list overall. Very interesting list, going from down from 50 to 1 was basically interesting itself. I'll pull up the list. Credit to Fightful for actually putting the list there. If you want, check out the story on them. Trish Stratus is considered number 1, and the story basically was written by Rob DeFelice. So Rob, you did an awesome job on that. Let me pull this up. I'll share the screen just so you guys can see it. All right. For me, I have some gripes about this, and I will talk about this on Tuesday also. And people are saying I'm going overboard on this. Kylie Ray, who is 600 days, around over 500 days as NXT UK Women's Champion, being at 48 is something that it doesn't make sense to me because she's a dominant champion. She's the longest running champion currently besides Walter. So why would you have somebody that's 500 at 48 and you have Nia at 36? Some of these places in this list make sense. Some of them don't. Kind of like, Stephanie McMahon. She should be a little higher compared to the Bella Twins, should be lower. AJ Lee definitely should be lower from 19, should be in the top 10. The top, basically 1 through 10 does make sense. The only thing I would probably change would be Rousey, and that would be it, and moving somebody like AJ or Paige or something like that. Even though it's basically proprietary on these lists, it does make sense overall to actually have the conversation about it. It's interesting to see where things lie in all this. Hold on, let me see something. So I mean, we could just have fun with it, enjoy every second of it. It Here he comes. Welcome
What
back,
up?
Carter.
Yeah, yay. So I don't know what you talked about while I was gone, but
I was starting with the list for right now, my perspective on it, but
uh,
why don't we pick up from there and we'll keep going. What did you think of the list of the 50 greatest women list that WWE set up?
the thing is about lists. I don't care for them because it's all usually objective. It's really up to the person. I mean, like let's just say hypothetically that let's say Alondra Blaze, for example, was my favorite women's wrestler of all time. If I had her at number one, that's on me. That's what I choose. Whoever did this, if it was like a group thing, I get it. Like I would understand it. But the thing about list is they're all. It doesn't matter in the grand, like in the overall. Overall, it really just doesn't matter. I never like lists like the top 100 players, like for the NFL. Like it would need to be updated now. I honestly, you take the Super Bowls that he's won, like Tom Brady, I would have Tom Brady over Joe Montana. Like I think Joe Montana's number one, and I could be wrong, but these lists are meant to be broken.
Yeah. Did you actually see the list itself, or?
Yeah, I did see the list, and I was trying to bring it up right now.
I have it up front. What I was saying is Kaylee Ray should be lower compared to Nia. Kaylee Leary, although it is NXT UK, a lot of people don't keep eyes on that product. The thing about it is that with the NXT belt, she's had it over 500 days. Walter's had the men's title over almost like 600, right? I believe. But something like that, holding a title, even though NXT UK was shut down for a little while and came back, it still holds merit to holding a title for that long, for that longevity. Some of these people on these lists, it makes sense. Like having Sonya Deville at 47, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's little things like didn't they put the Bella twins like together?
That should be separate. They put Eve Torres on here, which is good. Great.
And that's the thing they had. I'm looking at it now. Like with 1 and 2, I probably agree with those. Charlotte Flair is great at 2, Trish Stratus number 1, Becky Lynch at 3.
The only person on that list I think that needs to prove more is Ronda because of that short run she had compared to a lot of these people. I think AJ Lee should be in the top 15. That's just, one of those things that has to happen because of how good of work she did. She was very versatile. And on top of that, if you want to add to it, that promo, that pipe bomb she did, if without that pipe bomb promo, to me, it wouldn't have propelled more interest into it because she was pointing out every fault inside of that division. And look what happened. They all fixed it up and made it better. But Trish being number 1, that's hands down. That is it. I thought Lita would be top 5, but the way they have it though structured, it makes more sense to have Lita where she is because you have Alondra and stuff with the criteria. But I literally thought AJ should have been top 15. I thought Paige should be in there in that discussion for top 15. She was close. She was 17. But the only other thing with this list I could see
Paige would be in my top 10, or she would be in my top 11 for sure. I think. Looking at the names like Mickie James at 12, like a lot of people might not like. I saw some people on Twitter. Granted, Twitter, everybody's going to bitch about something, but I actually thought Mickie James being at 12 was pretty good. But considering like the people that are behind her, like AJ Lee, I would have way up higher.
Mm-hmm.
Like as far as like Paige, and then in a way, like as far, and I know they said wrestlers, so I get this. So it doesn't really. They had Sable like at number 16, I think. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah,
16. As far as like for the Attitude Era, like if you add that, I think she would be way up there because she brought like a lot of people watched Raw. They watched it to see Stone Cold, but they also watched to see some of the ladies in there. That was just the way it was back in 98, 99.
In the 20s too, there's a couple of people. The 18 Shayna Baszler, she's a 2-time tag champion, a 2-time NXT champion. I think she should have just moved into the 20s. I think Rhea should have been in the mid 20s because she's only had one major title run in NXT. So they're looking at the upswing of the possibility, but I think Stephanie should be at least, in the 30 conversation, and having like Bull Makana down further. The twin Bellatons, like we both agree, should be slipped.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, you look at this list, and it just shows how things are. Like, this is like, to give you an example, this is my problem with WWE. They have so much talent, but they don't give them all a chance because they want us to see rematch after rematch. They think they need to keep the same people on every week. And to be honest with you, the people that they need to keep on are only probably 5 people per show. You don't need to have more than 5 like on each show every week. The people that should be on Raw every week is a guy like Bobby Lashley. He's your champ. He doesn't have to wrestle every week, but he should be on TV every week. Drew McIntyre. Like, you should go with the people that bring eyes. AJ Styles brings eyes. Like, his demographics, like when he's on TV, those numbers actually go up a little bit.
The question I have for you afterwards, sorry about that. I get the continuity. You want the best of the best in front of people, but do you think longevity is also a part of it too, health wise?
That's the thing. Longevity is as far as like the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah, by all means, if you the less somebody wrestles, the better off their body is going to be in the long run. But there's like, I look at this list, and right now Mickie James is on the active roster. You have Bayley, who's on the active roster. You have Natalya on the active roster. Shayna.
That's the one I wanted to talk about too.
You have Naomi, Carmella, Nia. Lacey Evans is not on there technically right now. You know what I mean. Ember Moon's in NXT. Nikki Cross. So I see 4 people, and if you add Sonya,
yeah,
you have like 5 or 6 people in this top 50, and you can't get. Granted, they will add a women's tag team match or championship match to Mania. I'm sure. I'm very sure they will. So that'll take 2 of those out, and probably 4. I think Natalya and Nia are probably going to get that, or not Nia. Tamina are going to get that title shot. I think I would prefer it to be Lana and Naomi. And I don't think they deserve it because they've lost a few matches. I really think they need to figure out what they can do to get Bayley in a match. If that means it's Bayley and Carmella versus Nia and Shayna, give me that. You need Bayley on your WrestleMania card. If they don't put Bayley on this card, it is one of the biggest travesties this company has made.
Now, could you see the possibility with this Mania card, like you have Bayley and Carmella, Naomi and Lana? Hell, we haven't seen the Riots in a while. That would be great. They should. One of them should have been on that list if that. But back to this list though, and we'll keep going about people who should have been on the list. I think Natty should be literally like in the conversation to be at least, because like you said, Mickie James is active and stuff like that, but her longevity as a talent is as insane. I think Natty should be not 20. I think should be a little lower, not even like, trade spots where, AJ Lee was, and you put her down further and have somebody come up in that spot, or have where Paige is down lower, and just, in that conversation of where like from 18 and down, she should be a lot lower. She's like, she's won a couple of championships here and there, but that would make more sense because she's the mainstay. She's like literally, you could say she's the cornerstone of that women's division, like crazily.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's why these lists, I don't really care for them when I see them, because they don't mean anything. Because like in the like in the long run, like I said, if I believe Sasha Banks should be number one, guess what? She's number one to me, and then I can do my own top 50. These lists kind of suck. It's kind of like when you see like they do a list of the top 100 albums. Like it's pretty much always the one or two albums that are going to win. You know, it's like some will say or like rock bands will say Led Zeppelin, and then they might say the Beatles. Like it's always the same. Like it just really goes to the person what they prefer. This list, I mean, they put a lot of great people on there, but you know, it's like I'm like, it is what it is. I don't care for list. Because if they're going with the base of like wrestlers, like they have Stephanie McMahon at 23. Stephanie McMahon, I think, has wrestled less than 10 matches. I believe. I could be way wrong on that, but she shouldn't be. Like, if you're talking wrestlers, she shouldn't be on that list as far as wrestlers go. Now, as far as like a character, definitely, and she could probably actually be way up higher because she's had a lot of
memorable moments.
Yeah. So
like the wedding and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
who do you think should have been on the list though?
That I honestly don't really know.
Like if you had to pick 5 that should have been on the list, you can't take off what the list is now.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if I can like right now. I couldn't name 5. I just couldn't. I don't. I mean, well, I guess I could, but I don't know where I'd put them. I would put. See it like it's hard. Like for me, it's hard because I look at this list and I like if I add NXT people, I would add your Tegan Knox. I would add your well, I saw they had EO. I would have or was EO on there?
I'll double check. Hold on.
I mean, it's just like I said. It
yeah, EO's 25.
Okay, yeah. So like, and Carrie's on there. So
Candice LeRae's on there too.
Yeah, Candice LeRae, she's awesome. I mean, hell, I think 5 years from now, you do this list over, you might, and I'm not saying you will, you might see somebody like Raquel Gonzalez in the top 10. You know, Rhea Ripley will move up. You know, like I think these are just opinions, and that's why I don't really know what to say as far as like who I think should be in there, because if I take somebody at number 50 and I swap them out for 51, I could still make the point like for both of them to be tied. You know, that's the thing, and that's why I don't like putting numbers on people. I don't think it matters for me.
I think Ruby or Liv should be on the list for what they contributed. They haven't won a championship yet.
That's the thing. Like in WWE, Ruby Riot's wrestled for quite a long time. Like she was Heidi Lovelace in the Indies. She's a great wrestler, and she would be in the top 50 if it includes everything. I like Liv Morgan. I think she's awesome, but what has she done in WWE to deserve to be in the top 50? She doesn't. They haven't done anything with her. Bianca Belair. If you put Liv Morgan in that top 50, you have to put.
Bianca was going to be the first one I was going to say, but I think
so. That's why, like, I can't. I don't like this list. It's like, to me, and it's just to me, these lists are pointless, because it's like when you see on like Twitter, for example, somebody says, "Do your Mount Rushmore." You know, like. As like my Mount Rushmore would be completely different than others, because I would want like different categories. So like if I had to do my top 4 right now, I would probably have it as Bret Hart, John. Well, this is no order, but it would be Bret Hart, John Cena, The Rock, and then honestly, I'd probably go with Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes, just because of the impact they had on me when I was growing up. I loved Dusty Rhodes when I was growing up. I absolutely adored that man. Living in Texas, you know, he was on my TV almost every week, regardless where he lived. He was on my TV. Like if he was wrestling in North Carolina, the Dallas TV station would show his match, you know. So, and that was the same with Ric Flair. I saw, I don't know how many Ric Flair matches I've seen in my life. It's just it's tough to say. Like it really is.
For me, women's Mount Rushmore, right, would be Mae Young, if you wanted to go further back, for just because some of the matches that are on the network you can watch are very good at quality, I would probably say Alundra Blaze, just because of the impact she's done overall. It would be a toss-up between Trish and Lita. I'm more of a Lita fan just because I grew up with that side of it. But because with the moonsaults and stuff for overall wrestling performance, it would be very difficult for the fourth one because there's so many great talents, and obviously everybody's going to pick Charlotte and stuff. But me being a homer, I think Sasha, just overall package, is just representation, style, and all that stuff would be 4. But like you said, everybody's different. Everybody has a different outlook or stuff to see where they want. I mean, it could be like me saying to you, what's your top 4, your Mount Rushmore of MLB? It would be completely different than mine.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson would be on there. That would be a definite. Babe Ruth would be on there. Pedro Martinez would be on there for me, just because of being a kid growing up with the World Series and stuff, and I'd have no choice but to put David Ortiz on there.
See, that's because like that's exactly,
and
like
Griffey too.
Yeah, see, you already named 5, so didn't you? You said Jackie Robinson, you said
Babe Ruth.
So there's 2. You had Pedro, David Ortiz, and then you said
Griffey.
That's 5.
So I mean, any list you could be subjected to, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just, this is interesting how the reason why I'm griping about this, because it's a WWE list for one thing. 2, it gives you the inside look of what they look at their own talent as, who they value the most with active talent on where. If you look at this list, right, and look at it at a different view, you take Trish off, Chyna off, Alundra off, and we'll take Ronda off because she's not active, and Lita off. You have Charlotte at 1, Becky at 2, Asuka at 3, Sasha at 4, and then Bayley at 5. That it shows you that they value Charlotte over somebody who has had a longer title like Kaylee Ray. Like, if you literally thoroughly go through this,
well,
and look at who's active,
like with Charlotte, you would have to, like, based off, like, with like comparing her to
I'm not comparing to Kaylee Ray. I'm saying, like, it shows you how they value their own women's talent overall compared to it. Now, granted, Charlotte's done a lot more than Kaylee Ray, but I'm saying, like, you could see they value the UK talent a lot less than they do, obviously, the domestic. But it's also one of those things. It's like, for me, it's like, okay, you could see, Paige, who's a domestic talent, would be in the top 10, but if you take an non-active, she'd be out. Kind of it makes you see, if you literally separate the list into active and inactive, who they value most. Now, would you consider the Bella Twins active, considering the fact that they're talking about coming back next year? Probably not right now.
No, I wouldn't consider them active, but I know that they've always said that they're not retired. So that's the same thing. Like, CM Punk has never said he's retired. Well, maybe he has, but I'm just saying, like, the active, reactive. I don't consider anybody active. They've been gone 6 months. Like, that's not considered, or if they're not nursing an injury. I mean, if you're nursing an injury, that's different. You are considered active. But somebody like the Bella Twins, I would not consider them active. I wouldn't consider Brock Lesnar active right now, even though he could come back tomorrow and beat the hell out of everybody. I wouldn't put him up on that list as an active wrestler. That's why this list, hell with it. So moving on, this week, like with wrestling, the WWE last week finally released Andrade. They released him Sunday night during or right after Fastlane ended. Now, 2 weeks ago, I went on a rant about this.
Now, I can ask you this before you keep going. Are you satisfied with your care that now he's not WWE property?
Well, I think it's a disaster for them. I think they're making a huge mistake. Andrade's a great wrestler. They failed. Like with this one, they failed. Andrade is a spectacular wrestler. If you needed somebody to talk for him, you had her in Zelina Vega. He would still be there and he would still be wrestling if it wasn't for this social media thing, like where Vega she got let go because of it. It sucks that her leaving cost somebody. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Her leaving in the long run,
going is basically hurting two careers after she leaves.
But she doesn't. That's not on her. You know what I mean? We both know that. Like that's not on her. That's on WWE. Like, and that's on WWE that she left because she's one of those people. I think that was going to be a huge star too. You know, I really do. I think WWE messed up. Showing us Rey Mysterio and Dominic against Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy so many times, like during those Raws, like, and not giving. I mean, Andrade wrestled a lot, but it was always the same match against the Street Profits, or they got involved with Drew McIntyre on 1 or 2 episodes, but then that was over.
It was repetitive. That it was literally like us all saying, we don't want to see the same match for the 20th time. We want to see something different.
Yeah. So with Andrade, what I was going to say is, this is going to be an unpopular decision, or I don't want him to go to AEW. And I'll tell you why.
Please do. Now I'm intrigued.
I think he would get lost in the shuffle, just like Miro. I think Miro has been lost in the shuffle with AEW. He's been stuck with this Kip Sabian, Orange Cassidy feud, or like he's been the main part of it. This has been since he's got there. They haven't done anything with him. They should have let him move on almost right away. And they're starting to finally move on from that. Like now I can see they're starting to move on. Like I think we will see Miro turn on Kip Sabian this week or next. I really do. But Andrade, I think he would be happier. And I can't say that I know this. This is just my opinion. I think he would actually I could see him working ROH, because he could work New Japan as well, where he's wrestled before, and he could still wrestle in CMLL. So he could wrestle 3 places that he loves. He could wrestle with his I believe it's his best friend, Roosh. I believe they're like, if they're not best friends, they're like close friends.
They're close to it.
Yeah. So, and then, he could go back to New Japan. The AEW thing, yeah, it's great, like for a little bit, but overall, I don't know. And that's the thing too. Like maybe with his contracts, he could do something like once a blue moon, he could wrestle a match in AEW.
Could be a possibility that could you see him in New Japan Strong though? Kind of like because of the US side of it.
Yeah,
that way he could stay stateside if he needs to.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be both. I think he would do both, just like a lot of their guys do. Like Kenta does both, New Japan and US. I think God does. So yeah, he would be able to do both, and I think he would be happier in the long run because I just think it would be good for him. And that that's just my opinion. I don't know what's good for him and what's not. So I should have rephrased that because I don't know. I can't speak to say this would be better for you. That's not on me to say. I can't tell anybody what's better for them. That's just what I think would be his wisest choice to go. That would be the wisest route.
Another route he could probably go is stay with the independents and go to like, you know, places. Some places are like small wrestling places that are in Florida. Or I'll even use one promotion up here that a lot of famous wrestlers now, some famous wrestlers in WWE, like Tommaso Ciampa, obviously Kofi and Sasha and stuff. You know, he could just swing up here and have a couple of matches up at Chaotic. He can end up, you know, in Major League Wrestling for a little bit. He just like bits and pieces here. The one place I wish they kept him, and if they didn't buy him out, and I think it would have been a perfect fit for the short term, would be Evolve. But Evolve is owned by WWE now, and that will never happen. They could have kept him, and they could have put him back in NXT for a little while. With all this UK talent now coming over, that would give him more fresh matches in the NXT area. Like, can you picture Andrade versus Walter?
Oh yeah, that would. I mean, I could see it. It's, you know, I like now looking back, I wish when they lost Miro, I felt like they made a major mistake. After seeing what Andrade did during the beginning of the pandemic, COVID-19, seeing what he did and how he kind of took when he was wrestling like with Angel Garza, like you kind of were always like in tune to what was he doing more than anything. And he was a fantastic NXT champion, you know, and I wish they would have let him go back just like they let Finn. Let him wrestle. Just Christ, just let him wrestle. That's, you know, there's so many things and I don't get it and I never will. And this company won't. I'm kind of like, well, I'll be the first one to say, if they do the big releases this year, like they did they're not going to do a mini, but if they do like a Black Monday, I think we're going to see some big names that are not big names, but we're going to see names that you're like, they're dropping the ball on him, you know, like they're not, and I will never like try to play a like who do you think should be released? I will never play a game like that. I don't want anybody to lose their job unless it's deserved. I mean, there's somebody in NXT right now that's not wrestling that I don't think should be there. And I'm not going to say his name, but I think you probably know who I'm talking about. He shouldn't be there. And granted, those he hasn't been charged, and you're innocent until proven guilty. However, something like I'm looking at this from the standpoint of the crowd reaction towards this man. Like people would boo this guy if he was wrestling. They were already before the crowd left. You know that from that aspect, like you have to protect your company. Like you don't want to give him TV time because you know your other companies aren't going to pick him up. You know, like AEW is not going to pick him up. Like ROH probably won't. If anything, you'll be able to do some independence if he still chooses to wrestle. But it's just one of those things where losing Andrade will be a big mistake for WWE. And now, granted, there's always possibilities people come back. I honestly think you might see some people come back eventually. And I don't mean to sound awful about this, but when Vince McMahon goes like away, like when he's done with the company, I could see things changing a lot. Now, as I say that, I don't know how much like, and I'm sorry for going like I'm moving from topic to topic, but this all ties into Andrade. I always thought Triple H would be kind of like a Dana White guy for WWE. Like after Vince left, if Vince sold it to NBC, Universal, or Disney, or whoever, like if he sold it to Fox, I always pictured Triple H being that Dana White guy. Like you have your owners, but you have one guy that controls like everything. I always thought that'd be Triple H. Lately, and this is over the past year and a half, I don't know if Triple H should be that guy anymore. And the reason I say that is he brought in some great people, like wrestlers, but he hasn't made talent really, like for the most part, like really just outstanding talent of people that haven't wrestled elsewhere. So
I could see Bronson, if you want to put Bronson just at the short end of that stick list of people he's created that done well.
Yeah, but Bronson Reed compared to like Bronson Reed's not going to be a huge star. I mean,
no, but I'm saying just like as a wrestling talent, he might not be a huge star. He might be mid card, but at least that's a good talent. You like a dependable person in there. There's some of the talent that they had in certain classes. I mean, you can even say that Hunter, in the most majority of those people, I think it's maybe last time I think it was 60% of the roster, the current roster, has gone through NXT. So Hunter's hands are all over the main roster. It's not like where Vince gives a contract to somebody and, from outside, like an AJ or something like that, or, Drew or whatnot, Alexa, homegrown talent, Charlotte, homegrown talent, Sasha, you could say indie wise, mainly Charlotte. Charlotte had no independent experience whatsoever. Bailey had independent talent, independence experience. Sasha had that. Becky had that. Alexa didn't. So, I mean, there's certain people in there. I mean, Tommaso, independence. Gargano, independence. Owens, independence. Sammy, independence. There's certain things, and then you look up and down, and Bianca, in homegrown. Montez Ford, homegrown. The Prophets are homegrown. You could see Hunter's hands in certain aspect. I just want to see where they're going to go from this, because I think Hunter can take over. I think he could do a good job. I think if he does take over, NXT is now going to be in Sean's hands, which, if anything, if him shoving a ladder from this past week is anything, yeah, that would be an interesting thing. I mean, we did have, almost a loss in the wrestling community overall with, Road Dogg having a heart attack and stuff. But I think, if anything, they need to sit back and relax and reanalyze once Vince is retired, where they need to prioritize their talent, because instead of hoarding talent like they did a few years ago, and we had that huge head turner of releases last year, I mean, they have to see, it's kind of like, baseball, like certain teams for that, do we grow our own talent, make it a lot bigger, or do we buy everybody out there in the world, so that way you need to find mixture of both in order to keep winning.
Yeah.
And Andrade being not there is huge. But I think the mistake that a wrestling company made was AEW with Miro, because he ain't doing anything. He's just in the same spot he was with WWE right now. And I think he could have gone to New Japan and literally killed it. I mean, to me, I think the biggest regret on that Black Day release, I think Deonna Purrazzo is the biggest one out of all of them. And everybody's like, well, why? Well, she goes in after the 90 days, makes a huge impact, not pardon the pun, with impact, and becoming the Knockouts champion, and literally driven that division to even higher than it was. And like, how many people compare to Impact being one of the best women's divisions, and now they're working with AEW now. It's the same thing with NWA. They've got Thunder Rosa and as a big chip, and it's time for WWE to sit back, refocus, reanalyze their talent, start growing more homegrown talent at the Performance Center, bring in what they've been doing, bringing in some independent talent who have some experience, and utilize them properly. And they didn't use like Andrade to his full potential. They squandered that. And like you said, they're going to say that's the biggest mistake they made.
Okay.
Like you can even equate that to Drew, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, they screwed the pooch with Drew and they let him go. And he had, what was it at one point they said in that documentary? 21 titles. He had like 5 bagfuls, like, travel bags full of title belts. And they called him the chosen one, let him go. And then all of a sudden turn around and he is now, your contender, former WWE champion, 2-time WWE champion. I mean,
yeah. Oh, for sure. Going on to some other news today, and Gable Stevenson. This is amateur wrestling. He's the number 1 ranked collegiate wrestler. He wrestles for the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers. Today on Twitter, he announced big announcement coming tomorrow. There's been 2 talks. Either he's going to UFC or he's going to WWE. He's been tweeting at Vince McMahon. His brother just signed with WWE about a month ago. His dream has been to be a WWE, like to be in the WWE. He's worked out with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar says they posted photos on the university's website. Gable Stevenson could be, just from what I've seen in the ring, he is going to be a badass. Whether he goes to UFC or if he goes to WWE, the guy is going to kill it. And I hope, from the professional wrestling standpoint, I would love for him to come to WWE. But whatever he does, I'm anxious to see. He's a stud. Have you watched any of his highlights or anything like that?
No, but I know Minnesota has a long staple of WWE talent that are amateur wrestlers. I mean, look at Sheldon and Brock and just... I think this kid, from the way you're talking, could be something where it could be like an Angle thing where he signs with them, works a few matches, gets right up there. Yeah. No one's going to be ever Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle was an Olympian. Yeah,
that's the thing about WWE. Nobody knew, for the most part, it's going to just go right in there, and wrestle. They're going to want to train him how to do things first. They want to train him their way.
Could he possibly take over NXT after certain talent come up? Yeah, it could be a possibility. Yeah. I mean, if they can give The Rock's daughter a contract, which she's injured with 2 leg injuries, they could probably have hopes for certain other things. I mean, don't they have hope for, like, I thought I read Brock's daughter and his son to become wrestlers at some point? I mean,
not Brock Lesnar. There's been no talk about his kids. He doesn't talk about his family at all. So if it happens, it's not Brock Lesnar, anyways.
But I mean, do you want something where some of these collegiate wrestlers go into WWE? Do you want them to succeed like Kurt Angle and Brock, and Sheldon? I'll put Sheldon in that. Or do you want him to be Chad Gable?
I want people to be the best they can be. So it doesn't matter. As long as they get trained to be in the ring, if it takes them a little bit longer, it takes them a little bit longer. As long as they're good, in the ring, that's all I want. Would it be better for them? If they move up quicker? Absolutely. But it's one of those things where the WWE is going to put... They're not going to put I should rephrase this. They're not going to put Gable Stevenson in the ring until he's ready, or WWE Raw or SmackDown ring until he's ready. Ready. They're not going to do it. They're investing in him. He's going to sign a big contract because he could go to UFC tomorrow, or he could also go to the Olympics. So it's one of those things, what WWE offers. If they say that we're going to give you so and so amount of money, he might say, hell with the Olympics. I'm going to be making this much money. Let's go. So, but he hasn't said any, either way what he's doing there. So, but leaving the wrestling section, we only have a few more minutes, so I'm just going to do a couple of entertainment news, just a little tidbits. The new Suicide Squad Red Band trailer came out yesterday or the day before. Looks awesome. John Cena is going to be in it. Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, cast of others like Joel Kinnaman, Jay Courtney. You have a fantastic cast. I think Michael Rooker I saw. So it's going to have a good cast. You have is it Viola Davis? She's in it again, like she was in the first one. So I'm really anxious to see this movie when it comes out later on in the year.
I like the line in the trailer. It's like, why do you have a toilet on your head?
Yeah, that was good. Other news. So that was a big one. Godzilla versus Kong comes out, I think, on Wednesday on HBO Max and theaters. So I'm anxious for that. I'll be watching that. This past week, I did watch the Justice League 4-hour cut. I enjoyed it a lot more than the 2-hour or 2.5-hour cut. I really enjoyed this compared to the other one. Now, granted, I'll be the first one to say is I did take a break. I watched the first 2 hours and I came back about, I think maybe an hour later and finished it. I mean, I couldn't sit there for 4 hours and watch a movie. I mean, I would like to, but I just can't do it.
People did that with Titanic back in the day. You got to remember that.
Well, yeah, it was 3 hours. I mean, this was a 4-hour movie. 4 hours doesn't happen often. Titanic was a little over 3 hours, if that. I mean, I know it was over 3, but it wasn't 4.
But by the way, tonight's show, you don't have a time limit, so you could just keep talking if you want. I know you want to do more.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could stay on. I definitely want to, like I said earlier, I want to do that watch along for the hockey game. So yeah. I'll stay on for sure.
For me, I'm excited. I haven't seen the Snyder cut yet. I'm going to. I just need time to do it with everything. For me, I can't. They're still trying to figure out what to do with the Black Widow movie, and once that hits, that's going to be great. But have you gotten to see the first 2 episodes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet?
Originally I was going to wait and watch these, and because I like doing marathons. But I was so bored yesterday, I decided to give it a try because I was laying in bed, and I watched them. I really enjoyed them. They were pretty good. It felt like the first episode felt like I was watching a movie, like a Marvel movie. It was entertaining. I mean, obviously with Anthony Mackie playing Falcon, great casting choice, like he was in the movies. And then you have Sebastian Stan, who is Bucky, Winter Soldier. I really, really enjoy Wyatt Russell, who they have as I think as a U.S. agent, basically John Smith, I believe his name is in the comics. His name's Wyatt Russell. He is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son. Wyatt Russell, he got his dad named him after doing the movie Tombstone, or maybe not. Maybe it wasn't Tombstone, but basically Wyatt Russell. He used to actually be an outstanding hockey player in Canada or maybe Washington area. I can't remember, but he was a good hockey player too. And I think he played collegiate hockey, but I hate saying that because I'm not 100%. So I love the show. I'm anxious to see what way they're going, or where it leads. I wish it was already over. I wish I could watch all 6 episodes. I can tell you right now, as I enjoyed I enjoyed WandaVision, but I've already enjoyed this more than those episodes. It's just right now. That's what I feel like. It's been good. I enjoy it.
For me, I'm waiting to finish this, and then I'm going to watch WandaVision because Loki will be right afterwards. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. The prologue for me for anime as a fan, just to give everybody an idea if they want to watch this. Have you ever heard of an anime called My Hero Academia? It was on Toonami for a while. The 5th season prologue came out, and the first official episode's coming out on Crunchyroll on this coming Saturday. So it's going to be interesting, especially with Easter on Sunday. If you're not doing anything, all these picks will give you something to watch for a while. You know, especially with wrestling, we're ingesting that on a daily basis.
Yeah, me and anime don't work together well. So, but I've tried it. It's just not for me. Some other entertainment news: Mortal Kombat. Basically, their producers have said this R rating will be pushed to the limit. They have gone as they're basically hinting that it might be as close as NC-17 you can get. So that'll be interesting. This is a movie. Just people know their kids. You know, like if you think your kid can handle playing Mortal Kombat and you feel comfortable with them playing Mortal Kombat, that's fine. That's up to you. If they're going this route, I don't know. And by all means, it's not my place to say because I'm not a father that I know of. This movie sounds like it might not be something even you might not want your kids to see. Who knows? And I'm anxious for it, though. I can tell you that much. I've been ever since I heard it was going to be more based off the video game instead of this, like Christopher Lambert, like Raiden. I've been anxious to see it. So almost like the original ones. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how much they walk that line. Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do that. Just finishing it off. So they're doing a movie called Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's based off the video game.
Mm-hmm.
The person directing it is going to be Chad Stahelski, I believe, Stahelski, I believe. He directed John Wick, so this movie could be pretty cool too. It's basically takes place. The game sold it takes place in Japan. Like you get your swords, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So I'm anxious, to basically hear about this movie more. They just announced it, so it hasn't been they haven't even come close to starting production. So that'll be cool to see down the road.
You hear that Nickelodeon's about to announce possibly a new Rugrats TV series, but it's claymation animation. And it's supposed to be, you know how they had Rugrats All Grown Up? It's going to be called Rugrats All Grown Down. I guess the cartoon clay clone cartoon or something like that. That used to be a cartoon back in. No, I'm talking about there's another cartoon because I was watching this on comics.com. They were talking about TV shows that are in production that they can't wait to see. And there was a cartoon that got abruptly canceled. It's called Clone Cartoon or something like that. They would clone Gandhi and it'd be like one of the characters. It was kind of something like what is that cartoon, that animation that they did for with teenagers, how they had to friggin' try to win prizes or something like Survivor for teenagers at a camp. But it's something along the lines of that. There's so many good stuff down the pipeline. I can't wait. Blade Runner is supposed to be coming out. They have people making animation with that. So many good ideas out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, well, that's pretty much all I have for the show this week. I apologize again for having to take a brief lead. I had to leave because of my computer needed to restart. This was usually the show's on Friday, but we had a couple of issues this week with me being sick. So we pushed it to Sunday. As of right now, I do not know if I'll be doing another show on Friday. I might. I like right now, just based off what's going on. This is just pretty much the only time I'll ever have to maybe not do a episode on Friday. Just got people coming into town and stuff. So I might record the show before Friday, or I might record it on Friday. But it won't be live. I'm gonna have it. I will have it done, but I'm just what I should have phrased that better. It will be live. It will not be live. It will not be live. So just so people know that it will be done, but it won't be live. It will be recorded. So other than that, I am staying online. Like here, I don't even know if anybody's watching. If you are, I truly appreciate it. But
Aaron and Aaron and Tim are basically taking over the chat. Ron Patel's mentioned apparently Wikipedia says that Adam Cole lives right around him, which is not correct. Mm-hmm. My buddy Josh says hi. Both of us, basically.
Yeah. Basically, all I was just gonna say is I'm staying online. If you have ESPN right now, it's on ESPNU. It will go to ESPN2 once the game on that channel ends. I'm watching. I live in Minnesota, so the school that I went to, Minnesota State University, is playing against the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers in the NCAA hockey tournament. The game is 0-0 right now with 15 minutes. They're just 5 minutes in, so I'll be doing a watch along. So feel free to stay and chill, and I'll be paying attention to chat more since I'm not doing a show. But like if you have questions or if you want to talk about movies or like wrestling, please, or even hockey or baseball, whatever, I'll be in here chatting away. And I think Throwback might be chilling for a little bit. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I'll probably step out and I'll do the producing in the background for a couple of minutes so I can get something to eat. But why don't you do us a favor? Click that little check mark button on there, give it a little like, my pretty lady right there. And why don't you change the notifications instead of personal to all, so you know when In the Mix with Rob Wilkins is on. Close to doing the movie voice. Hit up Rob at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Check out Wicked Crazy Crew TV. Anybody and everybody is more welcome to be on and create their own show. Do what Rob does and being all like big, sexy Kevin Nash, like we had on TV sometimes. Other than that, did you hear what I announced on my show?
The belt.
Yeah. The commission of the Wicked Crazy title belt, it is going to happen by the end of the year. So you never know. Mr. Rob Wilkins could be draped in gold one day holding the title belt up on this show.
I don't think
you never know. Oh, yeah. I can't afford the Brock deal.
I'm the Brock guy. I won't.
But other than that, every Tuesday night, we got me and, the crew basically back again. They're loving it. They're loving the attention. The whole thing between Anakin and Rey, that's awesome. Literally them two arguing about everything. It's interesting to see these both of them, and they live in the same area. They live pretty much maybe about 5 or 6 hours away from you, but it's interesting.
It's a lot further.
Well, from what I could tell, interesting to see how like both of them want to be the in their quote unquote faction to be the high hens and stuff. And to me, I'm just sitting there and just be like, well, I've got Tim Trevor really biting at the heels for them to go after him. So this title belt is something out of love. I figured, I joke around with a couple of people that are friends of mine that's around, that's not in the community, that I feel like I'm like the Evolve or Major League Wrestling or Impact of the community with this belt. So, I mean, it's not going to be highly prestiged like a lot of the community belts, but it's something fun to have. So what are your thoughts of actually having this title out there and about?
I think it's pretty cool, man. I like I like it. So I think it's pretty cool that you're doing it.
You hear the premise of how all these matches are going to happen. It's going to be so much fun and so chaotic to keep up. And on top of that, I'm just going to say this too, like to Drew and Tim, Aaron and stuff. I am not allowed to participate in getting this title. I'm facilitating it. I'm being the commissioner about it. I am not being the champion. I already know that if I was a champion of anything, I'd probably go to my head real quick. But the way this is going to be set up is that the champion picks the match, the challenger picks the stipulation. So since me and Rob are on camera, if Rob is the champion and he says we have to pick the entire WrestleMania card, but it's a 3 out of 5 and the person wins the title, it has to be 3 out of 5 matches and I get to pick the 5 matches. It could favor me, but it could blow up in my face. It's like, you know how we did the draft for the draft for WWE. Say I'm the champion, and I said, okay, we're gonna cover the WWE draft, and it's picked the stipulations. You have to give me your top 5, and you have to have all 5 correct in order to win.
Sure.
It gives you the advantage, but me, I have to earn it. It's kind of like we both are fighting over something. It's going to be fun. It's something different. I've already gotten the design picked out. I have to save up the money for it. And I thought I was looking to see something where I could get like a WWE custom made stuff. And it's like, I don't have $1,000, but I looked up online and there's a company that does custom belts and it's like $300. And these are ones that they give them out to people that are doing performances and stuff. You know, they do it for special events and they look really good. So I figured, why not? Right.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so we'll wrap up our show but I'll stay on. So, and watch the game if you want to. Otherwise, if nobody's here, that's fine too. I'm going to stay on to try to get some to try to get some hours up on here. But the game has moved over to ESPN2. There's about 12 minutes left right now. So,
Drew, is there an automatic recomp in our contracts? I don't know. Why don't you ask Rob?
We just have to have rematches 3 weeks in a row.
I put out there that there's a 90-day rule. There's not like that 60-day rule. You have to have it defended within 3 months. I figured that'd be fair instead of doing the Brock rule where everybody keeps the title for a while. Hopefully soon enough, because he's in the chat, maybe I could get these two on a call and have Drew and Ray and have them maybe set up a show. Try to get more people on this channel. I think that would be great, giving different variety on certain things. For me, I think the channel overall, even though we just started about a month ago, is kind of a success in its own right, because there's not many of these channels out there like this.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to do a show, definitely let us know. We can help you make it happen. Even if you just want to do one, try it out before you start your own channel. Give us a holler, and we'll try to make it happen for you.
Make it happen, Captain. All right, you're going to hold down the fort doing the one-man thing for a little bit. I'm going to get some eat.
Yeah, so if you guys want to chill, that's cool. I will be looking at chat. So,
or even if you want to pop in, DM me, and if you want to watching along for the hockey game, you're more welcome to. It doesn't have to be just us. It could just be everybody joining it.
Aaron or whoever. If you want to, as long as you're watching the game, that's all I ask.
I'm not watching it, but I'm just hanging out.
No, I meant just as far as when we start the watch along.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, do you want to just keep going with this stream and instead of having to cancel it?
Yeah, I just said keep it on here.
Yeah. All right. So hit me up if you guys want to come in and stuff like that. Or hit Rob up. Let me know. All right. I'll be right back.
What's up? Now it's just me. So just in case you just came in or anything, what I'm doing a watch along for Minnesota State hockey versus the University of Minnesota college hockey for the NCAA tournament. The school, Minnesota State's where I went to school at. So that's why I'm rooting for him. It's my school, it's my team. I actually when I went to school there, I actually had some friends that played hockey for the team, and two of the guys actually had, actually there were more than two, but two of them actually had pretty good NHL careers. One still playing. The guy that I went to school with and is a friend of mine is Dave Backus, who he plays for Anaheim now. His career is kind of starting to slow down. He was a stud for the St. Louis Blues for a long time. He was actually their team captain. And when he was named the team captain, I knew that was a good call because he had that kind of like, people liked him. People wanted to be around him. So he was a great choice to be a captain for St. Louis. I'm very sure of that. So he was a captain for the St. Louis Blues. My other friend, he actually retired 2 years ago. He played actually all over the place in the NHL. He won the Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks, but then he got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes. Then he went to New Jersey. Then he went to Florida. And then he ended up retiring in Minnesota with the Wild. And now he actually does some play-by-play for the Minnesota Wild on Fox Sports, which will be turning into Bally Sports here. So that's kind of cool that he covers that. So I'm just a pretty big hockey fan. I write about hockey on shootingthesportish.com. And I'll be doing a hockey podcast here pretty soon, probably when the NCAA tournament starts up. I just saw a text or a tweet from Brian Gerwitz. He's one of the producers for The Rock. He actually used to write for WWE, and The Rock pretty much took him. Basically, he just kind of retweeted The Rock and said that Black Adam will be coming out July 29th of 2022, it looks like. I think that's what that said. Let's check it out again. Yep, July 29th, 2022. Cool. This movie has been in, I think, what they call production hell for a long time. This movie has been rumored since about 2015. So the fact that it's 7 years later and it's happening is pretty good. I'm also surprised that the Minnesota Wild are doing. Hey, we got a goal. There we go. 1-0. I'm also surprised the Minnesota Wild are playing pretty good. 1-0. Let's go, boys. Minnesota State. That is my school. So, yeah. So, Aaron, you're saying July 22nd? Yeah, it's weird. Maybe like he just posted here, and it might. I don't know. He just posted here July 29th. So, you would hope a producer would know what day, but sometimes things change. So has anybody, without giving any spoilers away, I know, Aaron, you've watched it. Yeah, according to the New York, I'm just looking at the tweet. They show a sign from Times Square, and it's saying July 29th. So I don't know. Anyways, so has anybody, like, without giving any spoilers away, have anybody other than Aaron watched the Justice League Uncut movie on HBO Max? Well, if you haven't, and you like the DC movies or comic book movies, like, it's pretty good. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I broke it up. I couldn't sit there for 4 hours. Yeah, like I said, Aaron, that's why I didn't ask you. I know you did, but I enjoyed it. 4 hours, it was good. So I actually don't need these headsets anymore. So, yeah. Yeah, if you like the comic book movies, Drew, I would definitely recommend trying it. Like, by all means, if you don't think you can sit through a 4 hour movie, break it up. You know, like sometimes people can, because I know some people just sit there and they will binge a show, and I've done that. I've done that where I binge a show and finish it in one day. Like to give you an example, Daredevil season 1, when that came out on Netflix, I started at like 1:00 in the afternoon. Next thing I know, it's about 3:00 in the morning. I mean, granted, I stopped one to get something to eat and stuff, but yeah, like I like doing the binge watching. It's just I just enjoy it. Yeah, lots of non-casual fans do enjoy it, and some of the more diehard fans do not. So I can see like where some of those people are coming from as far as not liking the movie. Like they may their points are valid. But if you go, like I've always said that if I go into a movie, I'm going to be entertained. I'm not looking for an Oscar-winning movie. Would it be good? Like if it's Oscar caliber? Sure. But I've always gone into movies just wanting to be entertained. I think that's the way people should go into movies. The fact I don't read critics that often when it comes to film, because I don't judge a movie by what somebody else says. And I think we got another goal. We do 2-0. Let's go. 2-0. Actually, I just saw somebody on TV I knew. That's weird. So 2-0. Let's go. Sorry, I was responding to a text. Yeah, Tim, you got the 2 Godzilla movies. Yeah, and you got Godzilla versus Kong this week. I'll be watching that. Cannot wait for that. And Aaron's right. You could binge this movie like you could do a binge, like it does go in chapters, so it makes it a little bit easier for some people. But I enjoyed it. Oh no, they got a 2-on-1. Not good. There we go. Went out. Went over the net or into the net. So that's good. The only time you'll see me do watch-alongs for college hockey is during the playoffs. So, just in case you're concerned. And I like doing watch-alongs because you can chat with people that you normally wouldn't be able to chat with, and like watch a game with, rather. I mean, you can always chat, but no, Aaron, I know like you're a big sports fan. Like, do you? And I don't think college hockey is that big of a deal in Toronto or in Canada, but do you follow college hockey at all? Because I know like juniors is a big deal in Canada, like, and I wish it was a big deal here, but it's not. Tim, how's the ankle doing or the leg? I can't remember, man. My memory's bad. I know it's your ankle or your leg that's you had issues with, so I just wanted to see how that's doing. Minnesota's going on a power play. So 2 minutes, I think, for slashing or tripping. One of the two. Tripping? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's on the Gophers. Oh, it is on the Gophers. Okay, never mind. My bad. It's tripping on the Gophers. So my team's going on the power play. Whew. So basically, if my team wins this, the Mavericks, the team in purple, if you're watching, they will go to the Frozen Four for the first time. That's like the NCAA's Final Four. They'll go for the first time if they can win this. They actually won their first playoff game last night, or first non.
Hello.
Hey, buddy, hold on. Let me get my. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, weird. I lost you on. Okay.
I'm just reading Drew's comment. Huh.
Oh, okay, so it's your left ankle. Gotcha. Don't follow any colors. Boss is a big Blackhawks fan. Oh, that's cool.
You have to hate him now because you're a Wild fan.
The thing is the Blackhawks have been whipping my team's ass for years, and sometimes you just get used to it. But that's but the only team I'll never root for is the Avalanche. I will never root for them, and that also goes for the Canucks. Even though they're not in this year, they're in my division, but usually they're not. Or no, they're not actually because of
they're in my division, my least division.
So they used to be in my division, and they haven't been. So I'm actually okay with them. They can suck it, as I like to call it.
They're not doing very well.
The player I hate the most is the same player that most Avalanche fans hate, and that's goodness, his kid plays in the NHL now. Who's the one that hurt Steve Moore?
Bertuzzi?
Yeah, Todd Bertuzzi.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand him. He's like, and Minnesota Wild fans, that's the one thing we have in common with most of the diehard Colorado Avalanche fans is we don't like that guy. Like, we don't like him at all. He's a prick. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. So left ankle is amazing. Still in rehab. 3 months in rehab. Okay. 3 months in rehab. Okay. And then this August, you're going in for surgery for the right ankle to get. Damn, man. That's not good.
Yeah. Good luck, man. I know things have been hard for you, Tim, lately.
Yeah.
Who's this goalie of Minnesota I never heard of that's doing very well? It's like
Dryden McKay, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. His dad was a huge Ken Dryden fan, so he named him Dryden. Yeah, he's been good. He's been playing pretty good. They think he's probably actually going to go into I think he was already drafted. I should double check, but they think they don't really know yet if he's going to stay or if he's going to go. I personally want him to stay, but that's for obvious reasons.
How old is he?
I'm actually looking that up right now. He's
18. He's probably drafted already, or he could be college free agent.
On here it says undrafted, so maybe he will. Okay. He's 23 years old.
Undrafted. Oh, he's not going to be drafted at all. He's going to be most likely signing a contract with an entry level contract with an NHL team.
Yep.
Because nobody gets drafted at 23.
Yeah. Well.
So that's the route it's going to take. It's not bad. It's because in the past, signing college players has not been like the thing to do in the NHL, but lately has been okay to do it, to sign college players straight out of college.
Yep.
Especially in the States.
For sure. And we've gotten some decent players, like not too many. I know I think Tyler Johnson, who played for I can't remember who he plays for now. Is he still with Tampa?
Yeah, he's still with Tampa. Yeah.
He was a college free agent signing, I think. And Minnesota brought him in for their rookie tryouts that they do every summer, and he was the last guy that they chose not to. They wanted him, but they went with another rookie that they'll tell you right now that was a mistake because they cut that guy and he went to play in Switzerland.
Man, yeah.
And I can't even remember who it was.
Tyler Johnson was good for the first 3 years. Then, even though Tampa Bay was a stacked team, he's really one of the offensive players that really kind of fell off for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they put him on waivers. Nobody claimed him because he had a huge contract. Nobody's going to claim his contract, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's NHL season. I don't know, man. It's 56 games. Anything can happen in 56 games. Any team can make the playoffs. The question is, the 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. Is it one plays 4 in that division, or is it going to be like 1 versus 8? Have the conferences, you know,
they'll start with conferences, like so. The West will play the West for the first round, maybe 2 first round, or maybe it's now I can't remember. I know the first round is like it within your division.
Also, it's 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3 in the first round.
I believe so. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's what I read.
So there's a chance we have like a Toronto, Detroit, or a Toronto, Columbus, or a Toronto, Boston, Toronto something. Oh no, maybe not, because they're gonna go back to the East, right?
Yeah, they're.
But what about the team? What about the Central? Because the Central is mostly Western teams, but they have a mix of some Eastern teams.
Yeah. The only I think. Crap. Oh, they're getting a power play. Sorry. Yeah. I think the Hurricanes are in that.
Hurricanes, Florida, Tampa.
Yeah, and then Florida. I think those are the 3 Eastern Conference teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tim. The Golden Knights are one of the best teams right now, so they're probably gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think they're one of the Stanley Cup favorites.
My brother's going to that. My brother's going to the Wednesday game between Vegas and the Wild. He'll be in Vegas on Wednesday, so he's going to the game.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm jealous. He's already had his COVID shots because of the work he does, so he's.
When's your country? Not country. When's your state allowing everybody? Very soon, right?
Yeah, March 31st. I have my first scheduled for the 30th. So
you got 2 days. That's good.
Yep.
Me in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like for me, it'd be like in June or July by the time we get one. We're doing it so badly here.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Are you in Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good as everybody in the States. Every state starting the next couple of weeks are opening up for the vaccine. Everybody 16 and older.
I think your phone's going.
Yeah, I know. Did you so we got baseball in a couple of days, huh?
Yes. Thursday, right?
Thursday's opening day, yep. First game is the Yankees and Blue Jays.
Yep. I might actually do a watch along for that too.
Oh, really? Yep.
Maybe I don't know yet. It depends what I got going on.
My Blue Jays are going into season possibly hurt right now.
Yeah. I saw that couple players.
Yates is out for the season.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry you had to cancel your league. Just we didn't get enough people in there, huh?
I know. We only got 3.
Yeah.
Charlie Conway. Oh, you watched the Mighty Ducks on Disney Plus? I don't think I heard that part yet.
I don't know if he's in there. I don't think he is. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday, right? It was yesterday on Disney Plus,
Friday.
the first episode.
Yeah,
Friday, the first episode. Yeah. I watched it right after Falcon Winter Shoulder. I think Bombay's back.
Yeah, Bombay.
Now, apparently, basically the synopsis, the Ducks are apparently assholes now. Like the team is apparently full of assholes. The team changed like how they once were. Yeah. Now they're kind of what's the team? The Hawks the Hawks were like in the first movie. The Hawks were really the dominant team. That's what they became. That's what basically they became the Ducks.
Yeah, they switched. That's kind of cool. I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
And I think in the trailers, Bombay started hating hockey again. In the first movie, he hated hockey because that when he was a kid, a turn for him. He started hating hockey again. We didn't really hate it, but like he was sad about it in the trailer. It's like I think he didn't really hate. He was just upset with how the Ducks turned out over the years. That's basically because he's the one that's. We'll see. But it had all the same tropes as the first movie because the characters are the team. I'll tell you, there's one fat guy, one fat kid. Exactly, kind of looks like Goldberg, really.
Mm-hmm.
So they got that guy. They got this kid who's gonna be the fat and he's Goldberg. And no disrespect to, I know, no disrespect. I don't know intended, but they, you know what they're trying to do there? They're trying to make another Goldberg there, right?
Yeah,
so that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of like things that are similar. So
yeah, they get the Blue Jays. They get females on the team. They got females on the team.
Yeah, go Braves, go Blue Jays.
Yeah, the Braves are gonna be good. That division, the NL East, besides Miami, no disrespect to Juan, it's gonna be a 4-team race.
Anybody in the East can win that. They have a good possibility of winning that. I think. I do actually have the Braves winning that division as of right. Mm-hmm. Like obviously, you never know what's gonna happen. Oh my God, he just killed the guy. Are you watching the game at all?
I can't get it in Canada.
Oh,
we don't get this. Yeah.
Do they have like
the college hockey is not really that big up here.
Yeah, I know. Oh, he killed him. You didn't get a penalty. That's good.
Yeah, we're talking about NL East. You can see the Braves winning it. You have the Braves. I can see the Braves winning it too. Yeah. I see the Braves, Mets, and Washington.
Yep. Over
the Phillies. I think the Phillies of those 4 teams is less likely to win it.
Yeah. Oh, they did call penalty. Yeah, it's messed up.
What was the penalty? What was the penalty called?
So the puck was in the air and our guy hit. He basically tackled another guy.
Was it interference?
Or he didn't tackle him. He just like hit him like kind of like a cornerback. You know, like the ball's being thrown and he just destroys them like just before he I guess catches or touches it. So
nobody had possession. So was it interference?
Yeah, that's what they called it, but I wouldn't have called it.
Yeah, hockey, like that guy, that one referee who was close to retirement got booted.
Yeah,
last week. That's normal though. That happens a lot though. The referees.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I've known that for years that they.
Yeah.
Like
you just have to have a mic.
Try to do a makeup play, and they're like, oh, "I'm sorry, man, I messed up there." And then all of a sudden, but you're not supposed to say it, That's
you
where
can think it, but not say it,
Yeah, that's where he messed up.
And then I saw this despicable act of sportsmanship by was it Brady Tkachuk? No, the one on Calgary, Matthew Tkachuk. It's facing Ottawa, right? The rookie goalie got his first win. Forsberg, I think it was Forsberg, got his first win. And Matthew Tkachuk and some of the Flames just shot the puck away from him. They were pissed off about it with Matthew Tkachuk and stuff because that was the goalie's first win in Ottawa. Did you see that?
No, I heard about it though. I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
Yeah, I saw the video of it. They were pissed off.
Ooh.
Ottawa. I would be pissed off too because it's the goalie's first win, and the puck should go to the goalie.
Yeah.
As a milestone, as something an accolade.
Yep.
And just to do that, it shows a lack of sportsmanship. And Matthew Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk is a dirtbag anyway. He's good, but he's a lot like his father.
Yeah.
And his father was really good too.
Yeah.
Brady Tkachuk is solid.
Yeah, his father is great.
Yeah. One of the best American players out there was Keith Tkachuk.
Yeah, he played a long time, man.
Did you see the Austin Matthews fluke goal last night? The win in overtime?
I did. that was good.
He had 6 shots on goal before that, and most of them were like right on tape to tape. It should have gone in and stuff. He's mistake been as of late, but like that one goal, like. The fluke goal, you'll take it, man. And sometimes when to get out of a streak, you need a fluke goal.
Yeah, you do. Like the goal that Kaprizov had the other night. Like it was just in the tight corner and just whoop right by the goalie. I just was like, wow.
Yeah. So, who's the top 5? You top 5 draft pick, mock draft, top 5 players you pick in top 5 would have been Acuna, right? First, Acuna?
I believe so.
Yeah, I like Acuna. That's like at first out of Mike Trout. Like everybody would say Mike Trout, but Acuna's a good option. Juan Soto, Acuna, Mookie Betts. I think Trout's still top 5. Who's the other one? Tatis.
Oh, sorry for me. Yeah, Acuna, Soto. I don't know, like list order wise. I had Soto.
Yeah.
I think I had Trout number 5.
I think you had Betts in there.
Yeah, I had Betts. So Betts was 4. Then Acuna, Soto. Oh, did I have Tatis?
I think Tatis.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I think the one player's going to break out this year is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah. I hope so. I like the guy.
No, because take it from me. I've been watching the spring training games that the Blue Jays are televising.
Yeah.
He's lost a lot of weight, like 40 pounds. So he's quicker and more agile. But and I think it's really helping him at the plate too. Because he looks more comfortable at the plate and looks like he's hitting the ball. He's always been known to hit the ball hard, but he has a tendency to hit the ball hard on the ground his first rookie season and the 60-game season. But in spring training, he's hitting the ball more in the air, line drive rate to so with his exit velocity, because he's one of the hardest hitters in the league with the exit velocity.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Baseball.
Like who else do I like?
Yeah.
I think like player wise, I'm trying to remember who I think is going to have a good year. I know a lot of people are excited to see what. No, that's not right. I was thinking. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of year that Chris Bryant and Bryce Harper have. I'm curious because, I mean, they didn't play as much baseball as they normally play, so they might be ready to go. You know what I mean?
Chris Bryant, yeah, man, he's a free agent. Well, actually, basically the core of the Cubs are free agents.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant's probably the one they're not going to keep.
Give me back John Lester. Give me John Lester. Bring him back to Boston. Let him finish his career in Boston.
He has a better chance of winning in Washington right now.
I'll take him back in Boston any day. Him and freaking Sales. Yeah, that'd be great. Sales is not coming back until halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I can't believe that Drummond's went to the Lakers.
Yeah, that was something I was going to bring up, but I was like, yeah, I don't know.
Do you see Freddie Freeman? Oh my God, yeah, Falcon A and Freddie Freeman. Yeah, he's very. You know what? I could argue a case that Freddie Freeman could be a top 5 draft pick too.
Yeah, Freddie, and I think I had Freddie Freeman in my top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you got the Brooklyn Nets with that Blake Griffin, always Harden, Durant, Kyrie.
Yeah.
There's all one thing they have in common except for Durant. Those 4 can't play defense, though.
That is true.
And I'm not a big I think Bryce Harper is one of the most overrated players in the league because he either has a good year or he has a bad year,
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
And Aaron Donald from St. Louis. We'll see because I think he's a little overrated too. And his offense, I think his defense is going to stay the same. Probably the best third baseman in the league. But I think his offense, I've seen from his away stats to stats from Colorado. His Colorado stats are very inflated compared to his away stats. His away stats are still solid compared to the Colorado. huge inflation there in Colorado. But you never know though. I think it's still valuable because DJ LeMahieu played in Colorado and his stats got better in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Charlie Conway. Charlie Conway would have made it NHL. Even Banks. Banks would have made it NHL.
Banks. Adam Banks.
You know what's weird about Mighty Ducks 2? Why did Disney choose Iceland as the most dominant team?
Yeah. Just out of the blue.
Rob, check your DM. I figure you should see that. That'll make you laugh. I can't put it on the screen because I don't know if we'll get we'll hit with a copyright or something.
Nice.
What is it? A picture?
Yeah.
You can send it. I'll send it to you, Aaron.
All right, show me, please.
My buddy Josh posted that. I was like, that's just too funny.
It'll be 1 second. I'm getting there.
You might not get in trouble, man.
Yeah, for this you probably wouldn't, but oh well.
Usually they usually won't copyright strike. They usually won't for pictures. For videos, they'll do it.
Yeah, but you never know what YouTube will do. So.
Yes, Tim Trevor. Yeah, Jesse Amplin does play for the Angels. Yeah, whether BJ Upton or Melvin Upton, wherever.
So what's the score right now?
2-0 my team.
Were they playing again?
Going into the second period. Where are they playing? They're playing in Loveland, Colorado, just right outside, not too far from Denver.
No, you won't get you won't get in trouble for that picture. It's funny. You won't get in trouble for that picture.
I didn't think so either, but always better to be safe than sorry.
It's just because, it's different if you put it on Twitter, but because we're live right now, I don't think I should be able to do that because it's, turning a movie poster into something funny. So that's why I was like, I'll tweet it out. It's funny though.
The Uptons are from. Oh, okay. That's kind of funny. Bad Doggy Kong. Disney Pixar.
I've seen everything.
I seen this crazy YouTuber. What's his name? I don't know his name. I'm gonna tell you about him. Find him for you. Who's making up the stupidest WWE wrestling rumors out there? Oh, Wrestling News Now. You ever heard of this YouTuber, Wrestling News Now?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so he did a video, right, about a week ago. Makes up BS rumors, the craziest BS rumors. And I think a lot of people don't buy it because it's not true. So he made up this rumor that Becky Lynch has been secretly fired from WWE and that Gigi Jolin, aka Priscilla Kelly, was there to replace her because of her red hair.
That's just dumb.
And then he made a video today saying Becky Lynch is coming back at WrestleMania. And D'Ambrose too.
Oh, God. Some people don't have a life.
I'm like, how is this possible? How is she fired? How is she fired? And then she's coming back like a few weeks later.
Yeah.
So, man, up at this Hall of Fame. I'm digging this Hall of Fame, man. You got Bischoff, Molly Holly, Kane, RVD, the legendary Greg Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to shape up. Probably one of their best classes in a long time.
Yeah. Great Kelly is obviously the headliner, right, guys?
I didn't hear you.
I said Great Kelly is the headliner. Definitely the headliner. Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do this speech? Who's gonna make a duck him? Is our brother, the guy who used to manage him, or Jinder Mahal?
Probably his brother that used to manage him. I think Mark Calloway, the person, not the Undertaker, will be doing Kane. Obviously,
Yeah, that's been confirmed.
Yeah,
that's been confirmed. Yeah,
I'm kind of curious who will do Bischoff.
I heard it's gonna be Hogan. He wants Hogan.
But
I know how we feel about Hogan, but it kind of makes sense, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. They're friends and stuff, and I just tired of Hogan being on my. I could go without Hogan now. Yeah, that's a different story or show.
Who's gonna duck RVD? Heyman?
I would think it's Heyman or. I was gonna say I could see it be. I think it has to be Paul Heyman. If it's not, I mean, it could be somebody that I could see somebody like. I don't know how close they were, but I could see somebody like Tommy Dreamer being the guy. But I don't.
If Impact lets them, right?
What's that?
If Impact lets them do it.
Oh well. Oh yeah, he's with Impact, isn't he? I thought he was on a per.
I think it's a contract with them because he's been on them a lot.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. So never mind.
But Impact and WWE has worked this together before with Hall of Fame stuff. They let the wrestlers. They have done it before with them. I think with Kurt Angle. I don't know, Sting maybe. Christian, I think they did it right. Christian was inducted into the.
Yep. Yeah, they used they traded like Ric Flair for something like Ric Flair footage, and I know they've had like WWE like AJ Styles footage and Samoa Joe and stuff.
So the jerseys I got ordered for a couple of gifts for the 1 year have been shipped. Now they're still in China.
Yeah, they'll get here in a year.
No, they usually get in within about by the end of the month or by a month and a half. The only problem I've ever had is the Hartford jersey was like 3 months, and I was just pissed off because it was the beginning of COVID when I ordered it.
Oh, it's a nice classic jersey, Hartford. Is it the Whalers or right?
Yeah.
Should have never moved. I mean,
Wonder how many people are gonna be like laughing about that picture. I just stumbled upon it, like literally.
I know Anakin saw it.
Yeah, because I just posted it.
Yeah, you just. I mean, Throwback, you're pretty upset with the top 50 women, huh?
But it doesn't make any sense on having like somebody who holds a title for 500 days. It's like the equivalent of saying, okay, Bruno Sammartino, who's one of the best wrestlers of all time, his 2 to 3 year reign of holding the WWE Championship absolutely didn't mean anything. Granted, you guys are like the UK doesn't. Dude, it matters. It's part of their company. It's part of developmental. And like I said on the show earlier for Rob's podcast, if you look at that list and you take every unactive person on that list, it will definitely show you the our hierarchy, the art of how they view their talent, like who's their they look at who's the absolute top tier all the way down to where it's just like, eh.
I don't know how Paige is ahead of AJ Lee. I know Paige is popular, but AJ Lee has done more than Paige. But Paige, yeah, because Paige unfortunately had a career ended early, but I'm just saying AJ Lee should have been higher than Paige.
Like, let me give you an example. Here's a list. I'll take the people out who are active. Toni Storm, active. Kaylee Ray, active. Do you consider Sonya Deville active? That's the question. She's not actively wrestling, but she is in backstage.
Okay. Yeah.
Shotzi, active wrestling. Candice LeRae, active. Nikki, active, not on TV. Ember Moon, active. Lacey is an active wrestler, but not on because of pregnancy. Nia, active. Carmella, active. And then it goes all the way to Naomi at 30, active. Io at 25 is active. Rhea, active. Natalia, Shayna, and then it goes all the way. The next active person on the list is, Alexa, Mickie James, and then and a good example of this.
What?
Alexa, stop.
Oh,
my show went off.
Tim, you knew about that channel? Yeah, it's hilarious. So, I'm sorry, that BS.
So, like I was saying, if you do the work and you point this out, right? You take Trish off the list, Chyna off the list, Alondra off the list, and Lita and Ronda. Your top 5 of that list that are active are Charlotte at 1. I'd still consider Becky active. She's still active on the roster, but she's on medical leave. 2.
The game's back on, just in case anybody is watching.
Asuka's 3. You've got Banks at 4, and then you have Bailey at 5 because Rousey I don't think is active because it's been over a certain amount of time. Those are your literally 5 active. That's how WWE sees it. They see Charlotte as 1 and everybody else underneath that. So 6 would be Mickie James, 7 would be Alexa. Yeah, and then 8 would be
so
Shayna.
Hard though, because some of these women have been wrestling 5 or 6 years, and some of these women of the past have been wrestling 1 or 2 years, and then like the women now have been wrestling a lot longer than the women in their late 90s and early 2000s.
I should go a step further and make the top 10 on this list, and to show the difference on how WWE perceives their talent.
Yeah,
like, there'll be 25 active women on this list, right? Or close to it, and it'll show you from who they consider. If this is objectively, you could see like from a view where they consider their active talent compared to the inactive talent. Like the inactive, you have Trish, Chyna, which it would be 2, Alondra would be 3, Lita would be 4, Ronda would be 5, and Beth would be 6. For inactive talent. Ronda's been out for 2 years. Becky's on medical leave because of being pregnant. So,
yeah.
But I mean, it shows you like here's the active, here's the inactive. I know it's annoying. It's a lot of work, but it's just to give you perspective on that, how that list should be compared to everything else. It's making me wonder if UMass Lowell's in this tournament.
I can check.
Let's see.
If they are, they're probably. I think they. Let's see. NCAA mass. Are you looking, or you want me to?
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
I just have to look it up at Hockey East.
I don't even know, like, for the hockey NHL mock draft, like, who's gonna be number 1 this year? Like,
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how they're doing the draft. Like, are they doing it by record again, or aren't they doing a lottery this year?
Yeah, but they're changing it.
UMass has made it to the Frozen Four.
Oh, nice.
No,
I thought. Huh.
UMass Lowell was 7th in Hockey East this year. That's insane. So the rankings for Hockey East in men's was Boston College, Boston University, University of Massachusetts, UConn, Providence, Northeastern, UMass Lowell, Maine, Merrimack, New Hampshire, who used to be like the top dog for the longest time, and Vermont. Vermont was 1-9-2. So, I mean, that's nuts. Boston College probably won't be in the Frozen Four. Saturday roundup, Massachusetts advances to the Frozen Four with a 4-0 win. UMass. UMass a little edged by UMass Amherst 1-0 in hockey in East title game. They even though with their double comeback overtime. That's the one thing I want to do next year. I want to go to a UMass game when they allow people to go.
Yeah.
Because like college hockey games, if you have a college town nearby, it's pretty cheap. It's like $16.
Yeah, I live literally 2 miles from, or not even 2 miles, 1.5 miles from the arena that these guys play at. Not tonight, obviously, but.
Night, Drew.
Thanks, Drew. Sorry, I just saw this.
Let me see if I can watch this, see if they have it online.
The game?
Yeah, I'm going to see if I...
Do you have ESPN too?
Yeah, let me see if I can reach my cable box. Hold on. Fluffy ain't fluffy.
Man, Rob.
Yo.
Man, second week of April, man, we're gonna be watching a lot of wrestling.
Yeah. Pretty much every night.
Mm-hmm. It's like a baseball schedule right now.
Yeah.
So what's SRS and what are they planning to do with AEW and NXT show in the future? Do you know?
I know, but I'll wait until Sean says.
All right, I got it on.
It's not my call to make on this one.
Okay. Yeah, he'll definitely tell us.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, I know what I'm going to be doing, but
ruling the world with an iron fist.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah,
you got it.
Next thing you know, in the news, on local television news, Rob Wilkins harem.
Yep. My dream.
Yeah, I just got it on right now.
Cool. You know, I think one of my biggest problems with WWE, and this is like obviously separate compared to what we were talking about earlier, but when you watch, and I don't know how it is in Canada, Aaron, but when we watch like Raw or SmackDown or even NXT, we see the same damn commercials over and over and over. I think that
we do here.
Okay, I think that plays a part into like the show. Honestly, I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they just showed watching this game, and they went to a commercial, and they just, do I know her? Sorry, I was looking at the screen. I thought I knew her. They showed this Geico commercial, and I see that Geico commercial with tag team though. Whoop, there it is. I see it probably 3 times during Raw, and I'm just like, and I just saw it here, and I'm like, ugh, I get tired of seeing the same ones over and over.
Yeah. Ugh. You know why they do it, because they have deals with them and stuff. What I don't like about AEW is when they go to commercial and they go to second screen when they put the show on the side, they sometimes tend to have backstage segments on the side, you know?
Yeah.
With NXT, when they do that, it's just a match. They just continue the match. Nothing major happens. And I have to say something about AEW and WWE. We love AEW. They've had great matches. But if you really look at them, some of their storylines are very confusing. If you take a deep dive, some of their storylines are very confusing. When you look at NXT storylines are not confusing as much as AEW if you really look at them both.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, like, the Kenny Omega, what direction are they going? Are they going, is the Young Bucks going to join? Are they going to face each other? Now we got Pentagon and Laredo, okay. Then who else? Phoenix. Where direction are they going with AEW? We know Pinnacle is obviously probably going to go with Mr. Inner Circle, but AEW sometimes tends to have a confusing storylines.
Yeah.
Tech in Pittsburgh. Man, Vanderbilt has the Vanderbilt softball team has 2 pitchers are going to go in the first round, and I think one just pitched a no-hitter. Jack Leiter, Al Leiter's nephew, was like really, really good in college baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing about baseball, man. Those guys, the people that get drafted in the first round, you have to wait 2 or 3 years anyway.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. Now I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. I can't believe it. 64 more followers and I'll have 1,000. Holy shit. I'm still trying to get that women's freaking roundtable up and running. That seems like it's not going to happen right now.
Yeah.
We've been trying for like months, huh? Like,
for me, somebody told me it's me trying to object to women, I guess. But the thing is, I like different points of view.
Yeah, they totally have a different points of view when it comes
and
to stuff.
It's different outlook from us looking at it compared to everything. So I like the idea of having women's outlook on it. You know, I've been around women all my life. I like every other guy, but I'm more so because my mom. It was just me, my mom, and my sister, and like the majority of my friends are women. Anyways, I have like two, other than like everybody in the community, like in real life, I have like 2 guy friends, and that's it. So it's like I'm used to it. Where the hell are the analog sticks? Jeremy just tweeted looking for analog sticks on an old PlayStation controller. Come on. Get out of the zone.
Yeah, get it. There we go. I might be ahead of you, or behind you, by the way. Just so you know. Because I'm using my internet connection instead of my normal cable.
Yeah, they're in Minnesota zone right now. So I wanted your opinion on this. I read something where they're trying to do a 4th stimulus, but they're trying to set it up where some people believe in the government that there should be a $2,000 stimulus check monthly to stimulate the economy, considering how bad people's lives have been since COVID started.
It's not going to happen. They were trying to do 2,000 for this one.
Yeah, they were trying to do 2,000 for this one, and they're still trying to negotiate another one. They're in the process of starting, I guess, another one, what I was reading. And if they try doing the 2,000, they believe that it's going to stimulate the economy more so because it's going to give people like a fresh start kind of idea where you could pay your debts off, and then they're hoping that debt you've paid off, you're going to use that to pay off to use your money to buy stuff, to put money into the machine, so to speak. It's a good idea, help people get out of debt and turn around and hope that they use some of that money to put into small businesses and stuff like that. You should see it around here. It's ridiculous. I drove the long way. I had to drive one of the techs we have home, and I drove the long way home, and there were like places I used to like drive past all the time. Like there used to be a Ben and Jerry's right next to a bowling alley, and like I drive by and I'm like, wow, that's not there anymore. And literally that went by there like a year ago. And it was there. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, what's going to happen is when we get past this COVID, when COVID is not a threat anymore in the U.S. and Canada, it's going to be the Great Depression era, like again in the 1920s and 1930s. That's where we're heading into.
They're trying to, and that's why they're trying to do these stimulus checks to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
it's smart because if you think about it in a different way, let's say how many Americans are in there? Americans are working, like active work. Let's use around a weird number. 10,000 Americans are actively working out of 15,000, right? And you take $200 out of that for like a small population, and let's say you give them $50 a month, you're going to make more money back in your taxes because they're working a lot more to survive. That's why when I filed my taxes, they asked me if I got my stimulus checks. Because even though they said, "Oh, they're taxed," they're not taxed. No, they come right out of with the forms and stuff that goes into when you return your taxes. They take some of that out in order to replenish the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow, Anakin's tweeting up a bit.
What's Anakin doing? Let's get Anakin in here. Where's Anakin?
I sent it in that group text.
Actually, I was planning on watching this whole game, but I got a text from my brother. He's asking me if I can come over in a few, and I'm like, yeah, for
That's
something else, I might have to. I don't know yet. I'm gonna wait till he texts me back.
No, that's hilarious. Tuesday where Anakin and Way going at it.
I need to get both of them on and have Rob there and just be me and Rob just sit there. The whole thing with the popcorn, that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
With John.
Yeah. And even Anakin went on in the car when he was going to work, and then at work he went on. Maybe it was really getting to him, huh?
That whole matchup when that title belt does happen is going to be probably the most interesting match ever, and we're going to have to put it on 3 channels.
Yeah,
because that's now like becoming like Rock Austin in the community right now between them two. Even though behind the curtain it's a shoot still, but competitive wise, they're very competitive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Oh,
I already know who I want. I'm hoping. I know who the person I want to be the first champion, but I'm not going to be like Vince and be like, here, proclaim it. I already know who I'm pulling for. Doesn't mean it's going to happen though. So when I do get it and stuff, we'll have like a night and I'll pick out the stipulations. I'll pick the match, and then I'll put the 2 people I think deserve it the most, and they'll fight for it. And then we'll do a tournament a month later, because I'm hoping by New Year's Eve we do like a huge event. And I'm gonna try to look up the number and stuff. But I figured if we do something for New Year's, and this is just me throwing the idea, and we have people, we don't send a GoFundMe or anything. We put the number on the scroller right here, or the website, and you go in on your own accord, and you donate to Dana-Farber Cancer Society, or if I could find it, the UMass Lowell Cancer Research, or there's one for Lowell General to help fund cancer research and stuff. And then you just put it in if you had a friend who has cancer or something like that, just to do something like at the end of the year to, kind of like everybody, I tell her to pay it forward kind of thing. So it'll be like your one last good deed of 2021 kind of idea. So we'll have a match, and we'll have a tournament for the first thing, and we'll use the pay-per-views too as a way to do these matches and stuff also, kind of like what Wrestle Talk does, but since I have the Twitch channel too, we could use that for video games and stuff. But I know who I'm pulling for. It doesn't mean that person is going to win the title, but that person will be in the first match. So, and then I'm in talks with DK to be on the 1 year show. So that would be good. The 1 year show will be on a Wednesday. It'll be like a 7 o'clock show on a Wednesday, because with everything going on with AEW and stuff on that Wednesday, and then the Tuesday show is going to be like the show beforehand, celebrating it, starting that process.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do the Wednesday show, see if you were free for that day on the 26th of May. I already know the answer to the other person I asked, which is okay. So I'll figure out the rest. I like the jerseys though, Rob.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Is it purple or blue?
Yeah, purple and yellow.
Because my TV shows it as blue.
No, it's purple.
So I guess we're all getting MLB The Show here, huh?
I'm going to order it after I pay off a couple of things. But yeah, if I don't get the pre-order, I'll get the regular, because I could get the special edition online afterwards anyways.
I know Bob probably is going to get it too when he can.
What's that?
You get MLB The Show?
Oh, yeah, I'll get it.
I'm definitely going to build a new stadium.
I could just see it now, like all of us playing on Twitch and going against each other, and you hear Rob yelling at me, "Damn it, freaking throwback! Let me freaking hit the ball!"
You know what's funny is I don't usually get mad playing video games.
Or like, throw me a strike, don't throw the ball low or high. Just give me a strike to throw the ball down the middle.
I used to do that to piss one of my friends off. I'd throw a splitter and I'd throw it right at below the line, and it would drop. You would swing. He's like, "Stop doing that. That's cheating." I'm like,
"No, it's not.
How's it cheating? It just drops like literally an inch off the plate."
That's what a splitter does.
Yeah, but I would throw it outside.
Oh, outside?
Yeah, I would
Tell him
have
to stop freaking. Tell him to stop freaking.
I would literally have it aimed low. It would go straight and down, and then for some reason, when I turned the angle on it a little bit, it looked like it curved an inch. So it dropped down and hit the corner. He's like, "That was a ball," and the guy, you hear the AI call it a strike all the time, and he's like, "You cheat." I'm like, "That's not cheating. I'm just hitting the strike zone just right. It's just luck." And then I showed him, like, without him doing anything, I throw the same pitch, and the ump says ball. Because I missed it like an inch off. He's like, "Well, I still think you're cheating." So for just like a whole game, I would just throw splitters all the time.
Oh my God.
Creative character. Like literally just throw splitters constantly. He'd be like, "That's not funny." And he's like sitting there and he's getting mad. Throws the controller, just sits there. The ump's calling strike after strike. I threw a no-hitter against him one time just because I was just doing that to piss him off. I'd be like, "Here, I'm just hitting the spot. That's it."
If you just keep doing a splitter and hitting a spot, you should adjust to it easily though, because you keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I was trying to show him, like,
yeah. I threw only a perfect game once. I played so many baseball games, but I only threw a perfect game once. That was like a long time ago. You ever play NHL? The NHL game, you went over a goalie and the guys go after you like crazy, man. I did that once, like 2016 until NHL 16. I ran over to the Pittsburgh Penguins goalie, right? And the guy, the Pittsburgh Penguins teammates went right after me. I'm like, hey, it's an accident. I didn't mean to do it.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? You know how like on the old Genesis, you get the NHL games from EA all the time?
Yep.
Well, I would literally just go around, loop around like a question mark, get around and just shoot at the corner. I'd get the goal all the time. And I'm like, is that a cheat sheet right there? Like, I would literally just keep doing it and goal. Even if I was playing with friends, I'd do the same thing and I'd score all the time. And now with the new ARIs, how they're all smarter now, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
So I am going to leave after this period ends.
All right. Then I'll leave it. I guess.
So
It's our show anyway.
Minute and a half. Well, for me, it's a minute and a half. I don't know what it shows for.
57 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, I figured me doing the title belt would be easier than losing jersey belts. Because I figured I calculated how many jersey bets I've lost, which is all of them, and how much it's cost me. And I'm like, the title belt would be a lot easier. All right, yeah, I'm down to 4.4 on the clock. I could see. I'm looking at an angle because my TV's curved. So I figured the belt would be a lot more feasible. That way I don't have to bet on a jersey and pay like $90 just to have it, ordered and shipped and all that stuff. I got 22 seconds, Rob.
Okay, cool. 3:22, 3:12, 3.
You guys watching March Madness at all?
I'm a Florida State guy and they got their butt kicked today.
By who? I didn't watch today.
Michigan.
As a Minnesota guy, you must. You'd be unhappy that because Minnesota, Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Rob's call because on my end they just finished.
Yeah, 19 seconds for me.
So still 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So while he's waiting on the countdown, like again, you could find.
There we go. I'm good.
So tell them where they could find you, Robbie.
You can find me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Otherwise, on Wednesdays, I cover AEW Dynamite. I will not be covering AEW Dark this week.
Really? You're a free agent on Tuesday?
No, just this week. I got something going on.
Oh, yeah. You have people coming in, right?
Yeah.
Well, other than that, I'll be on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock with Aaron and everybody from the crew again.
Oh, no. On Tuesday, I have I do have people coming in, but I do have the reason I can't do AEW Dark is I'm getting my COVID shot.
Oh, you gotta take it easy the next day, hopefully too, because if you know you're doing AEW Dynamite.
Yeah. Oh, I think I'll be fine, but
it's the second shot you could be.
Yeah.
That's the one you take.
Unless it's the first one. I haven't taken mine yet. I looked around and everybody's booked, but Tuesday night the crew's coming back again. Should be interesting, like usual for the last couple of weeks. I just like sitting back and just watching everything sometimes. Podcast is going to be coming back. I'm going to talk to Aaron and this week, see if we could get him on, do the audio side, just talk about sports and stuff and wrestling in general. Just have some fun and everything. Check out Rob's show like usual. Just enjoy life. Life's too short.
I definitely appreciate everybody checking us out. So, and Aaron, if you just want to finish her off.
Okay, so come join me, Aaron Entertainment, on my YouTube channel. I talk about wrestling, sports, pop culture. My Twitter is Aaron J's Fan. Come follow me. And if you don't, as my Joker avatar showing you, everybody, he's pointing at you. If you don't follow me, if you don't go to my channel, I'll be pointing at you, and at that meetings, I'll make sure you follow me or you subscribe to my channel.
All right, guys, do a good deed, pay it forward. Just watch out for everybody and be kind.
All right, boys. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, I gotta get